Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. Yesterday I published a video in which I shared news that we may end up seeing a jury trial. And technically that was always on the table in the SEC v. Ripple case, but after Judge Torres' ruling, it's more likely. And I made a video yesterday explaining why, so I don't want to really rehash that whole concept. But I just want to kind of set the table and make sure that everybody understands that, because if this happens, if indeed there is a jury trial, which is more probable at this point, an attorney within the XRP community, who's attorney Fred Rispoli, in his opinion, he says that don't expect a conclusion in the SEC v. Ripple case until 2024. I kid you not. So that would be rather unfortunate. I really hope that doesn't come to pass. So, I take no glee in sharing the bad news, but you know what? I'm here to hang out with you during the good times and the bad times. So whatever happens, it's okay. So don't beat the messenger. But I'll share with you the specifics, comments, and some other, I got some other stuff from attorneys on this topic, but I've got that, and then there's a second story I want to share with you as well that I find very fascinating. This one comes from Decrypt, although every crypto media outlet under the sun is covering it. But here's the headline. CFTC chair says Ethereum is a commodity despite Gensler's Bitcoin-only position. And so many of you will recall that late last month, Kim Jong-Gensler decreed that everything that's not Bitcoin is a security. And now you have the CFTC chair saying, whoa, 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 back the F up. What are you even talking about? Because they've been in control of Ethereum specifically. So little dispute there. I'll break it down for you. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so there's this article from A&B Crypto titled, Ripple, Whales Move Greater Than 100 Million XRP as Attorney Predicts Another SEC Trial. And part of what's covered in this article is exactly what I happened to cover literally yesterday. There's a tweet from a former attorney who is a member of the XRP community named Scott Chamberlain, and he had this really thoughtful thread, and I shared just a little snippet of it, which happens to be in part on your screen, and it reads as follows. It seems more likely there will be a trial because this decision results in conflicting expert testimony that muddies a summary judgment application. And I'll also note, attorney John Deaton retweeted that from Scott Chamberlain and concurred. He does think that, in fact, at this point, attorney John Deaton thinks that perhaps it's even likely that a jury trial is going to occur. And this seems to be, and so, by the way, if there's anybody that's wondering why hasn't this been discussed more thoroughly by attorneys within the XRP community, well, I'll get to that point as well. But what kicked off this conversation today, or technically the other day, it kicked off the other day, and then just like 5 hours ago, it got to the point where attorney Fred Rispoli chimed in on this. But what kicked it off was a tweet from a community member named Big Lemon, who wrote, I feel like settlement may seriously be on the cards right now. And of course, that's in response to what we saw with the couple-day-old ruling from Judge Torres, which was definitely pretty heavily in favor of Ripple and not so good for the SEC, because they're expert witnesses on the most important points that they needed to make. That's not even being allowed in the case. Judge Torres ain't having it. But attorney Bill Morgan, member of the XRP community, retweeted that and said, it has not been off the cards since last March. And fair enough, it's always been a possibility. It just kind of make you wonder if at this point it might be more likely, because there have been scenarios discussed in which perhaps you could see Judge Torres push this whole process through to a jury trial, but could have some sort of ruling having to do with secondary market sales of XRP, indicating the proceeding will not have anything to do specifically with that, in which case you got to kind of be wondering, should that occur, why would Ripple not settle? Because that's Ripple's sticking point. If Judge Torres takes that off the table, why wouldn't Ripple settle? So it is another consideration. So even if this is in theory going to jury trial and it's going to start next year, which would be awful, I don't want that. Even if that's the case, if you're Ripple, why wouldn't you write whatever size check you have to? Because you already know that your XRP transactions are in the clear, right? Or at least in theory they would be. Right? And so then there was a community member named Kronos who wrote to Attorney Morgan and said, "I hope you read my comment. If they go to trial, how long do you expect it to last?" And Attorney Morgan responded and said, "Do you mean how long until the trial starts, or how long it takes to complete once the trial starts? What do you reckon, Fred Rispoli?" And he tagged him right there. "I don't have enough local knowledge of the court lists and scheduling to speculate when a trial could be heard, but I would think it would go for go for several weeks after it starts." And then this is where attorney Fred Rispoli jumps in. And by the way, just as a friendly reminder, Fred Rispoli is in the process of suing Coinbase for the XRP community because Coinbase has not handed over the Songbird token or Flare tokens. It is now March of 2023, and Coinbase hasn't handed it over. And they have no intention, at least, of handing over the Songbird tokens. Allegedly, they're going to hand over the Flare tokens. So he's suing them. And I am all for it because the way that Coinbase is treating their customers within our community is completely unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, attorney Fred Rispoli said, "I would be very surprised if trial could take place before 2024. And it is probably 30 to 40 trial days, which would translate into about 2 to 2.5 months." Okay, so, man, at least the trial wouldn't be that horrendously long, rather. But if you're talking about it, going into 2024 and then waiting 2.5 months, my gosh. So what's that going to take us into potentially March of next year? And then, depending on what happens, there could still be an appeals process after that. Do you see how long this thing is? It's just like, oh, you want to bash your head against the wall. I just want this damn thing over. Now, I still do think it's more probable that there will be some sort of path carved out here so that it doesn't come to that. But it is an actual possibility. And then XRP community member Brian Monarch tagged me and wrote, "Trial probably won't even start until 2024 with a little eye roll emoji." And thank you very much, Brian Monarch, for tagging me. I do appreciate that. And I share your sentiment as well. I saw that and I was just like, no, and I appreciate Rispoli, sharing his perspective. It's not nothing like that. It's just like, damn it, 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 damn it. And so I responded to him and I said, "Oh man, I sure hope not. For some reason, I was under the impression a jury trial would start this year, but Fred would obviously know better than me." And attorney Bill Morgan responded to me and wrote, "I thought this year, or at least hoped this year, but didn't have enough local knowledge of this court/judge's lists to guess. Not surprised by his estimate of the number of trial days required. It was about what I was thinking." And then there was an XRP community member named Van Hasen, who wrote to Bill Morgan, and he said, "My question is, why now, so close before summary judgment? You all seem to be vocal on this to probably go to trial. I know it was always an option, but why not prepare the crowd much early to this not ending at summary judgment? What happened that this has now become the most likely option?" And you know what? That's a perfectly fair question. And so it has been discussed by, I think, every attorney that I follow in the XRP community on multiple occasions, but it hasn't been a heavy focus, admittedly. I do think he's right about that. But I think he's probably just missing the big news that occurred a couple days ago. It's just the reason has to do with Judge Torres' ruling. So I just responded to him and I said, Judge Torres' ruling a couple days ago changed the dynamics. It now looks as though there is a sufficient amount of dispute on the facts that a jury may have to sort it out. For example, a SEC expert witness is being allowed to argue that the XRP ledger is not decentralized. And so, and you know what, frankly, I think it's a BS argument, obviously, but they should be able to argue facts and then have somebody with, tech specialty on the opposing side get to argue why the XRP ledger is decentralized. So I get why Judge Torres did what she did. It's just, for us, we're sitting here with our eyes glazed over like, it's an obvious lie. It is obviously not true. I know, we get it. But if something's going to be ruled in terms of summary judgment, it has to be the case that there's not a dispute in terms of what the facts are. It's just about how to apply those facts, based on what the law is. And so in a situation like this, and that's why I just shared one example, this is a dispute of actual facts. Is the XRP ledger centralized or decentralized? Well, that's where jury trial comes in to sort it all out. So we'll see. Might go into 2024. Oh, prize that, Jesus. I will prize that, Jesus. If it doesn't make it that far, because oh my God, I am just gonna rip my damn hair out making videos about SEC lawsuit crap in 2024. No, I mean, I'll do it. I'm gonna be here. I don't want to do that though. I'd rather be talking about other stuff on my channel, but it is what it is. So anyway, here's a headline from the crypt. On to the next topic. CFTC chair says Ethereum is a commodity despite Gensler's Bitcoin-only position. The chairman of the Commodities and Futures Trading Commission has taken a firm stance against the Security and Exchange Commission's subtle power creep over the digital asset market. Rostin Behnam told the Senate Agriculture Committee on Wednesday that Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency next to Bitcoin, is a commodity. It's been listed on CFTC exchanges for quite some time, and for that reason, said Behnam, who argued that it creates a, quote, direct jurisdictional hook, end quote, for the agency to police both ETH's derivatives market and underlying market. His opinion appears to directly contradict that of SEC Chairman Gary Gensler, who argued last month that everything other than Bitcoin falls under securities laws. While not naming any names, the chairman has hinted many times that this would include Ethereum, especially after the network transitioned to a proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. So it is nice to see a little bit of pushback from another entity, even if it's ETH. And well, because I mean, I'm actually pro ETH. Not that I'm excited about it particularly, but it's a major part of the cryptocurrency ecosystem. I've been holding it since November of 2017. It's the first cryptocurrency I ever purchased, in fact, and I have it. So I'd like for that to not fail. So it's good to see some pushback against the SEC in that sense. But it's been so crystal clear that ETH was going to be under attack for some time. In fact, never was it more obvious than September 15th of last year, when Ethereum, here's a headline from Decrypt, Ethereum switched from proof of work to proof of stake. Look at this headline. Ethereum successfully executes highly anticipated merge event, ushering in proof of stake era. So there you go. Switch from proof of work to proof of stake. Big deal. Here's an article also from Decrypt, headline, from the same day, September 5th, 2022. Gensler says proof of stake assets could be securities. Report. Oh, okay, so it just happens to be a little baby coincidence that on the day that Ethereum finally, after years, and it was years in the making, literally, Ethereum switches to proof of stake, just happens to be on that date that Kim Jong-un, he doesn't say Ethereum, but he says that proof of stake assets could be securities. Just happens to be on the same day, right? Big coinky-dink, right? Methinks not. That son of a bitch. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.